So I wanted to show you guys some of these artifacts here. What I'm noticing with some of these guys here is that we have some bark strippers. I didn't really notice these as bark strippers before I started watching some videos about cabin building, but you can see how this is carved out and kind of has two handles. Pardon the flies, it is springtime here in North Carolina. So, as I was saying, all the bird effigies, they're not all very defined. Some of them are just cardinal heads. The colors matter. The colors depict the types of birds sometimes. And we have many new artifacts here to take a look at. Got some wooden versions and some pottery versions. So these are just little bird heads. You might be able to see the beak and the carving for the eye there of just the small little bird head, as if it is a bird in the hand. And what's really neat about these is you can flip them different ways and they become different birds in different directions. So these stone artifacts, you can see how the carvings are done. You see how the layers are done on this. They're prehistoric, probably before Christopher Columbus came. Many of these artifacts are magnetic as well, and after studying the art you will start to learn that well, of course, some of the memes repeat, and what you start to see is that these classic styles are actually represented in later on versions which are higher level. I have a little representation of that here, with this one kind of being in the middle. So let's look at some brand new birds here. Kind of how I learned how to see the style of art was looking for bird effigies. Bird effigies are something that you can find out about in your museums. Pardon my little parrot in there. She seems to be having a panic attack. You okay over there? You're in the shade. Okay. So we have these little birds here. They have a recessed beak, and I'll show you several versions of these here. Seeing them all together is really key, because you can start to see the styles. So you can see how the wings, if you look just further, past the face, past the crest, you can start to see how the wings come down, see how the ripples down here, and you'll see the same thing on this one and the same thing on this one as well. And I'm kind of getting my hands full here, so let's go ahead and take a look at a few more here. This is a very great representation, and what I do have is a little bird here so that we can take a look together, kind of with a modern representation. Of course, maybe like that. You can see how the wing, see how the lines for the wing come down for the tail. You see how the top wing is represented. See how the top wing on this statue is represented. So the top wing on this statue is also represented here. If you look at the features of the face, it isn't as defined. It's actually more defined. It's a special type of art, and I hope I'm keeping everything in the frame correctly here. It is a very detailed style of art. I'll try to keep it more still for you guys. Pardon me. So here we have another depiction. See, the problem that I'm having right now, guys, and maybe you can let me know, is that my screen is completely dark, and so I'm trying to film these videos actually blind. Really just kind of looking at the lens and not being able to look at the screen, which is pretty tough. But you guys can see here how we have a depiction of a bird here. This stone is really amazing because it has depictions of birds on every corner. If you look closely at the carving there for the eye, you can see how the spikes of the pink come out. They are masters of stone, masters of their art. Let's look at these guys here. So these ones are all kind of the similar versions here. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit if I can. We'll just maybe change our position here. So what we're going to be looking at is not just these versions of birds here, which I can kind of repeat over here with this one like this, So if you look closely where the eye should be, you'll see these little indentions. Of course, are more exaggerated in others. But what we do is we flip these over, and so you see the bird, of course, this is a very defined one. What we can do is, keeping that same side, we flip it over, flip this one over, and again, I think we had this one like this, so we flip this. Well, we had it like this, so we flip it like this. So now you can see the duck heads. So we have the eye for the duck,